I am trying to address the poor and the dispossessed students from North India, West India, East India, and Central India, and their poor, toiling parents who may be agricultural laborers, who may be peasants, who may be workers in factories, who may be working in very, very small jobs, but whose children are brilliant and whose children are deprived of the just educational opportunities right from independence. I am appealing to you and I am talking to you from Tamil Nadu. The Tamil people may have different language. The Tamil people may have a different culture. But all of us have the same aspiration in life, that all of us have to have a good, decent life that is guaranteed by the Constitution of India for every one of us. But it is deprived for most of us in practice. We know for independence, the sacrifices made by South or East or West or Central India are alike. We can't forget Bhagat Singh, we can't forget Kalpana Dutt, we can't forget mighty struggles in West Bengal, Chittagong Armory, which is now in Bangladesh now, of course. We can't forget various land struggles in Bihar and UP for a dignified life. So the people of Tamil Nadu, the toiling people of Tamil Nadu, have everything in synchrony with the toiling people elsewhere in the country. And it is with that spirit I am speaking to you. I'm just going to tell you a brief history that right after independence, Tamil Nadu took a slightly different trajectory under the Dravidian leadership of successive governments. The successive governments concentrated more on equity, social justice, taking education and health to the poor and the marginalized. It was going on for 50 years. The result is that you see a very impressive health indices, educational indices in Tamil Nadu, which is not available in the most fertile Indo-Gangetic plain of this country, which is considered as the grain bowl. You produce through your sweat and blood grains for the country, but you are deprived of a just full life, reasonable opportunities for education, reasonable opportunities to come up in life, all through in the name of merit. The education, health opportunities were all reserved for certain kind of elite segment in the vast North India, Central India, East India, and West India. The result is there for all of us to see that Tamil Nadu progressed because it took people along. Most of the North Indian states could not progress because the progress was focused on elites. It was not focused on common people. Now, when Tamil Nadu opposed NEET, it was not just on questions of propriety. It was not just questions of constitutional right. It was not just questions on federal rights, except our education should be in state subject. They are also there. But the main objection to NEET was, it was putting a big obstacle to poor students who study in hinterlands, in their own languages, especially girl children, whose parents cannot afford one more exam which allows multiple attempts for those who are rich. This is the context in which Tamil Nadu opposed NEET right from the inception. But somehow this message did not percolate into the vast North Indian Indo-Gangetic plain. I wish this had spread early. I wish the North Indian students saw the logic behind why the government of Tamil Nadu, the Dravidian government, was so steadfastly opposed to this monster called NEET. Now, the North India has woken up, students have woken up, they are on the streets now, like they were during emergency, like they were under Jayaprakash Narayan in Purna Kranti, and like any other struggles that took place in North India. So today, various political parties speak. The leader of opposition speaks in the parliament, but his mic is switched off. Tamil Nadu, in its assembly, passes another resolution. The aligned parties in India Alliance are all raising their voice now, which should have been raised long back. But nevertheless, better late than not doing it at all. It is time. I have a very, very specific request to our friends in Kerala, the government in Kerala. The left parties in Tamil Nadu were always supporting Dravidian movements in opposing NEET. But the Kerala government should have passed an assembly resolution in their assembly when Tamil Nadu passed. Even today it is not late. I request my comrades in Kerala government, please pass an assembly in your resolution. Please be in consonance with the progressive politics of this country. The progressive politics is to ensure your intentions in your legislative assembly, showing that you stand for the poor and dispossessed of this country, for the right to the highest professional education, that is medical education. The way that you can prove your commitment is to pass an assembly resolution in Kerala. This is my humble request to my friends in Kerala and every other state government which is in India Alliance. Now, why are we opposed? Why do we oppose NEET? We can oppose NEET in several ways. As I said, it is anti-women, it is anti-poor, it is anti-Dalit, it is anti-linguistics, it is anti-federal, etc. But I must tell you how it started. There was a time when MCI was mired in corruption. The chairperson of MCI's house was raided and tons of gold and huge cash was seized. You all know who that person was. He is from Gujarat and nothing happened to him for obvious reasons. So MCI was mired in corruption. So in 2014 July, the government of India appointed a committee to study MCI. The committee was headed by Dr. Ranjit Rai Chowdhury. The committee's terms of reference was very clear. It was to examine the function of MCI. It was not for anything else. It was to examine the function of MCI. And the committee did a report and submitted it in September 25, 2014. Now, the report of this expert committee was given to the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee. The Parliamentary Standing Committee studied and submitted its 92nd report. That report was also called Functioning of Medical Council of India. It was not about NEET, it was not about private medical colleges, nowhere they were mentioned. Please remember, this report was submitted to both houses of Parliament in 2016. Till such time, there was not a single complaint regarding irregularities in admissions or fee structure in any government medical colleges. Not a single complaint and not a single mention. But during discussion and recommendation, both the expert committee and the standing committee of the parliament strongly felt that the irregularities in private medical colleges have to be, and deemed universities have to be looked into and reined in. They never mentioned anything about government medical colleges. And now comes what is called Niti Aayog. Now Niti Aayog enters the picture. It says, oh, how can we control private medical colleges? If you control the fee structure, then the private investment will not come into in the country. You are trying to stifle the private enterprise, etc. So they were against controlling the fee structure of private medical colleges, which was absolutely arbitrary, rocket high, not something which even an ordinary middle class anywhere in North India could afford. But the Niti Aayog's stand was that these colleges must have a free run. Ultimately, after a lot of debates, that they agreed that 40% can be controlled, but 60% must be allowed what is called the free enterprise in private medical colleges. Now, the Niti Aayog was the first one to suggest NEET. The one logic behind that was they all knew that NEET will breed coaching centers like bacteria, and these coaching centers will pay 18% GST and therefore they will get more income. This is one of the unsaid logic in allowing NEET and coaching centers so that the government will get 18% GST, which amounts to several thousands of crores. Now, even in parliamentary committee at that time, an MP from Tamil Nadu gave a strong dissenting note. He belonged to AIDMK, incidentally was a student of mine. But that was also not taken. But they were hell bent on bringing in NEET, sans any logic, sans any common sense, and with the only intention of centralizing the grip of Delhi over any dissenting state, especially states like Tamil Nadu. They wanted to take away whatever federal rights that Tamil Nadu was struggling to fight. So the NEET is actually not a product of any debate in parliament. It was not a people's debate. It was not people's demand. It was not education's demand. It was not any government's demand. It was one thoroughly corrupt organization which was reorganized that put forth the demand for NEET. And that somehow got parliamentary sanction. And you know what happened in Supreme Court, that a bench struck it as unconstitutional. Then one judge who gave a dissenting judgment waited till all the others retired and then made one Sangh-backed organization to file a review petition, and the case was taken suo motu for review, and then the final seal was of Supreme Court was given, saying that NEET is a must for the country. So this is the brief history of NEET, how it came about. Please remember, my dear friends from North India, it was not in your interest. It was not in our interest. It was not in the interest of the toiling people. It was in the interest of centralizing seats so that the rich who can get 20 marks, 20%, 30% in NEET can buy their seat very easily in any of the private medical colleges. Now comes NEET 2024. Now we are woken up because of a lot of scandals. The scandals go again in this Indo-Gangetic plain. It starts from Gujarat and starts from Bihar and goes up to Gujarat. Please understand that Tamil Nadu or any southern states have not seen such kind of rackets. Now this is not just a paper leak, as all of you know. This is not one just misdemeanor or some mistake or error, etc. This was a big coterie, a big mafia, having some sort of sanction from the powers and happening in a very, very organized manner. So much so, one of the person who was arrested, he said their aim was to make 200 to 300 crores by giving question paper to 700 potential candidates. They have worked out everything scientifically, that they won't give all the questions, they will give only 75% of the questions, so that it will not be a 100% leak. So 75% is difficult to prove. So they will give only parts of the questions to different batches of students, some in Gujarat, some in Bihar, some in Jharkhand, etc. It is such an organized, well-oiled system of mass corruption, and obviously common sense tells us that these things cannot take place without the sanction of a big power. And this has been happening for many years. You know, 2022, in your own state, Madhya Pradesh, I think, one girl, her NEET mark was 7 or 6, I forget. That girl was a brilliant girl. She couldn't believe her marks and she ended her life. After ending her life, the recorrection says she got 530 marks. Where is 6 marks? Where is 530 marks? This happened in Madhya Pradesh. At that time, you should have woken up. At that time, my brothers and sisters and children of North India should have woken up for these gross misdeeds of NTA. Anyway, we have woken up now. I don't have to talk about NEET 2024. You know enough. Enough has been written. Enough has been spoken about. NEET 2024, while it is a scandal, NEET by itself is a huge assault on Indian Constitution, on equity, on right to education, and on allowing poor Dalit girls studying in Hindi or Bengali or Marathi to aspire to get into cream medical colleges. This is an assault on poor people, simple assault on poor people. Today I was reading a satire on NEET in the Hindu. You know, satires usually tell you a lot of stories, and satires are based on reality. You know, one person was writing a satire on NEET. You know what he said? So I was therefore concerned to read that the government is planning exam reforms including for NEET. For all the words, millions of words spilled over NEET, no one will tell you the truth about it, its purpose. NEET was created to solve a specific problem. That is, how to ensure private medical colleges fill all their seats, even if their fees are laughably grotesque for the majority of applicants. NEET solved the problem in 3 elegant steps. Step 1, it created a single national pool of applicants to feed all the medical colleges in the country. This is step 1. It created a national pool and made it compulsory. Step 2, this is laughable. It kept the cutoffs so low that even if a student practically fails, he can get, if he is HNI is high net worth individual, who can afford an MBBS course for a fee of 2 to 3 crores. I will come to this percentile later. To the lakhs of non-HNIs, that is ordinary people like you and me, who cleared NEET well above 40 marks but could not get into a public college, it said, go to Russia, go to Slovakia, go to Bulgaria, go to hell. So this is what NEET has actually achieved, that to push the vast majority of students outside the fold of a quality education. Now I come to this percentile. Percentile is a very peculiar system. Nobody knew why NEET preferred percentile over percentages. See, the common sense tells you that if there are 1 lakh seats, you will declare results for about 1,10,000 or 1,15,000, 10 or 15,000 for wait list. But here percentile is not that. it clears 50 percentile. That means last year they cleared 13 lakhs. They said 13 lakhs you are all eligible. Why? So that when 1 lakh people, the students who are poor in this 1 lakh category cannot apply for private medical college, these 13 lakhs can apply and get. This is a very, very peculiar system where the rich can buy their seats. Now, how did this come about? Nobody knew how did this come about. So I was trying to find out who preferred this percentile and what is the logic of this percentile. Now I was reading a memorandum sent by State Platform of Common School System, Tamil Nadu, to Honorable President of India. So it is a memorandum sent to Honorable President of India, and normally such memorandums will not have untruths or things which are short of facts. I read from the memorandum. The method of percentile that was introduced instead of percentage while preparing the rank list based on NEET score needs deep scrutiny. Okay. In its reply to a RTI query, the MCI has stated that files relating to the decision on the percentile were lost. In other words, nobody in this country, right from Supreme Court judge to me and you, know how we came to this despicable percentile system. And yet this system rules the country. Have any one of those rulers questioned what logic was behind this percentile system? Nobody. We all took it for granted. I took it for granted. I thought there would have been a lot of discussion because after all, Niti Aayog is a body of experts and MCI is a body of eminent doctors. NMC is a body of eminent doctors who also happen to be psychopaths and fellow travelers. And so I thought there must have been a lot of discussion. There might have been, but the discussions are all burnt and buried. None of us know. None of us are privy to this. It is our right to know why this despicable system of percentile came into vogue that kills the aspiration of millions of students of this country. I appeal to you students in North India, please raise this question. Raise this question to your MLAs, raise this question to your MPs, raise this question to your ministers, raise this question to your chief ministers, raise this question to your prime minister who has not spoken a single word about NEET so far. The entire country, youth are on the streets. The youth which voted previous elections en masse to you, gave you such a huge mandate in previous elections, are on the streets demanding a justified future for themselves, and the Prime Minister is very eloquent in his silence. It is our right to demand a reply, but when the leader of opposition has to mention this NEET in Parliament, you know what happened. This is the parliamentary democracy that is supposed to discuss vital problems of this country, and when vital debates are stifled in the Parliament, the debates will be settled only in the streets, and that is what the students of North India are doing now. I appeal to you students, my dear students, this problem will not be settled in courts of law. Only people's appraisal, only when North Indian students support South Indian students and Tamil Nadu government especially, which stood steadfast for not only Tamil's rights, for your rights too. This is the government which stood for our rights and your rights, irrespective of where you live. We fought NEET in toto, not NEET 2024. We fought NEET in toto only for your welfare too. So please join Tamil Nadu, please join the progressive forces, and we join you in the streets, and good luck to you all. Thank you very much.